This is the Khoodeelaar television channel. The organization and campaign Khoodeelaar represents the action taken from December 2003 up to the end of the Crossraid project in London. The Khoodeelaar campaign was initiated by me, Muhammad Haque, in cooperation, in association with K. Jordan in December 2003 to defend the community in the East End of London, especially the community around the street called Brick Lane. And this is the continuation of the Khoodeelaar campaign, the Khoodeelaar television channel being broadcast on the internet, not on satellite, not on terrestrial, not on cable network, just on the internet. Now, this one is being timed at 12:15 hours GMT on Sunday, the 5th of January 2005. This particular edition is going to be devoted mainly to the discussion of the news item that is on the front page, the number one item on the front page, the top item, not the biggest one, but the top item across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns, headed "Revealed. Minister lived in home gifted by ally of despot aunt's regime." The reference to minister is, of course, the reference to the niece, the elder daughter of Sheikh Hasina's sister, Sheikh Rehana. The elder daughter of Sheikh Rehana is, of course, the current incumbent member of parliament for a London constituency. And she is the minister being referred to. And she is the minister for the in the department that is supposedly in charge of dealing with, in other words, opposing financial corruption. There is an irony there. That irony has been pointed out by many people in the United Kingdom in the last 1 month. Since the item broke, saying that Sheikh Hasina's niece, Tulip Siddiq, that's the name of the minister, a member of parliament for Hampstead in the borough of Camden, was involved in the embezzlement of as much as $4 billion, which embezzlement was facilitated by Tulip Siddiq herself. Because according to the reporter on the Mail on Sunday, Abul Tahir, Tulip Siddiq actually facilitated the power plant project between the Russian regime and the Bangladesh regime that was fronted by Tulip Siddiq's despot aunt, Sheikh Hasina. It all took place in 2013. Now, since that news about the embezzlement of £4 billion worth of money siphoned off the money that was made available to the Sheikh Hasina regime for the installation, building, construction of the Rupur nuclear power plant, which was built by the Russian atomic energy company, Rosatom. Since that news broke, further news has come saying that Tulip Siddiq took bribes out of the other project that was facilitated by herself between Bangladesh and Russia. Now, today's Sunday Times, the 5th of January 2025, issue number 10,451, costing UK priced £4.50. Now, today's Sunday Times front page reads, Minister lived in home gifted by ally of despot aunt's regime. And the byline is shared by Gabriel Pogrand and David Bergman. Now, David Bergman is, of course, the husband of Sarah Hussein. Now, Sarah Hussein is the daughter of Kamal Hussein, who fell out with Sheikh Hasina after Kamal Hussein objected to many of her illegal activities after she came to power. Kamal Hussein is, in effect, not active politically, but he is still alive. And his daughter, Sarah Hussein, is married to the British journalist David Bergman. We shall talk about David Bergman at another time, but this one is reading as follows. The first paragraph: the minister responsible for tackling financial crime and corruption lived in a property given to her family by an ally of her aunt's deposed regime in Bangladesh. Tulip Siddiq, the economic secretary to the Treasury, that is the British Treasury, the Ministry of Finance in the United Kingdom government, used a flat in Finchley in London, in Finchley Road in Hampstead, North London, after it was handed to her teenage sister, Azmina. The sisters are the nieces of Sheikh Hasina, the authoritarian former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, who was removed after uprisings against her rule last year. Hasina has been accused of massacres, killings, and crimes against humanity, including the deaths of at least 800 protesters by the new administration in Dhaka. She's also accused of corruption and embezzlement. Siddiq, 42, is among several family members alleged to have benefited. Siddiq denies wrongdoing, and Zakia Starmer has said she retains his confidence. Moin Ghani, a Bangladeshi lawyer who represented Hasina's government and has been pictured with her, gave the flat to Azmina, then aged 18, in 2009. Land registry documents state that the transfer was not for money or anything that has a monetary value. It is unclear exactly when she listed it as her address at Company's House in December 2012, when she was appointed as a director of the Working Men's College, an education institute. She did the same on becoming a trustee of two charities in 2014. Her husband, Christian, listed it as his address as late as May 2016, by which time Siddiq was the MP for Hampstead and Kilburn. Azmina, whose career has included roles at the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change and more recently a children's charity, so £1,000 in 2021. Siddiq owns another flat in King's Cross in London, which, according to the Financial Times, was given to her in 2004 by Abdul Muttalib, another associate of Hasina's, and before that was used by Ghani. Siddiq declined to comment. A source close to her said she had lived in her sister's property for a period, adding the source said other family members' housing arrangements were a matter for them, and that the political associations of others had nothing to do with Siddiq. Her mother lives in a home in nearby Golders Green, owned through an offshore trust by a billionaire former advisor to Hasina. Siddiq now lives in a property owned by Abdul Karim Nazim, a member of the United Kingdom arm of Hasina's party, the Awami League. Like Ghani and Siddiq's sister, Abdul Karim Nazim declined to respond to requests for comment. Web of freebie floods on page 7. That's the article by Gabriel Pogrand. Tulip Siddiq's former Hampshire home is just one on a list of properties owned by allies of the deposed Bangladeshi regime to be used by the MP and her family, writes Gabriel Pogrand. So the key characters are pictured in the piece, running across almost half a page of the Sunday Times, broadsheet size. The pictures are Tulip Siddiq, her sister Azmina Siddiq. The spelling of the surname is different in each case. Tulip Siddiq's surname doesn't have the additional UE that her sister's surname has with the Siddiq spelling. So Tulip Siddiq, Azmina Siddiq, Moin Ghani, and Sheikh Hasina. Now, this is something that needs to be updated. The Sunday Times has claimed, and this claim is still on the record, it has not been deleted, that it played. The Sunday Times, remember, claims on the record that it played a key part in the creation of Bangladesh. Think about that. This is the Sunday Times that is still on the record as claiming that as a newspaper, it played a significant, central, pivotal, key role in the creation of Bangladesh itself. Why? Because the now deceased Pakistani Christian criminal, Anthony Mascarenhas, the shitbag, made the claim himself. And his claim was completely false. But he claimed that he witnessed the massacres by the Punjabis of people that then became the myth, which was over-exaggerated and taken to the number of 3 million. All these claims have now been extensively proven as false. The lies that Anthony Mascarenhas paraded as the truth included pictures of corpses found somewhere in North Bengal, Bangladesh, that has been exposed as being the pictures of not Bengalis, but non-Bengalis, Urdu-speaking people massacred by Bengalis. That is what has been established now. So, taking all the way back to the 16th of December, 1971, when the then regime of India, fronted by Indira Nehru, Jawaharlal Nehru's daughter, Indira Nehru should be called as Indira Nehru, not Indira Gandhi, because the Gandhi name often is associated with Mahatma or M.K. Mohanlal Karamchand Gandhi. That is not true at all. The Gandhi name was actually stolen for political propaganda purposes by the Nehru family by over-exploiting the tenuous link with a man called Gandhi. His name was Feroz Gandhi. Feroz Gandhi, the father of Indira Nehru's two sons, was a Parsi, that is a fire worshipper of Iranian background. But he divorced her very soon after the marriage. Going back to the 16th of December 1971, when Indira Nehru gave the formal recognition to the state of Bangladesh. Since that time, the 16th of December 1971, during the year that followed, that is 1972, about 300 or 400 books or book-sized publications appeared in India, and I came to see about 100 of those while I was traveling in India in 72. And of the 100 or so books that I managed to read while staying in a hotel in the in the center of Calcutta, I managed to read about 100 of those books. And as I've said before, the books make the astonishing claim that they, that is the Indians, created Bangladesh. That is, without the intervention by the Indian military that ended with the surrender of the Pakistani army on the 16th of December 1971, Bangladesh would not have happened on that date, and nobody would know when a country called Bangladesh would appear. Now, when the news broke that John Stonehouse, the most prominent member of parliament who was featured during the months of Bangladesh liberation, publicity and propaganda and campaign during 1971, when the news came in 74, 75, that he had died, that he had disappeared on a beach, from a beach in Miami in the USA. Investigators, mainly connected with the Observer newspaper, not the Sunday Times, that claims to have created Bangladesh by playing a very central part in highlighting the genocide that it claimed had happened against the Bangladeshis or against the Bengalis, against the East Pakistanis. The Sunday Times didn't investigate John Stonehouse anywhere near comparably as extensively was done by the Observer newspaper. And the Observer newspaper was given the information about the corruption of John Stonehouse in association with a number of criminals identified by a Christian clergyman called Michael. What's his name? Michael. That is, man is called Michael Scott. Michael Scott, and a man from Barishal who is now deceased, a licensed law trading barrister called Fazlul Haq. Licensed law trading barrister called Fazlul Haq and Michael Scott were two of the main sources of the information about the British Bangladesh Trust Fund money being stolen by Stonehouse and a number of others, including Donald Chesworth and Tasadduk Ahmad, both of them deceased. So this particular degeneration of the corruption story is not the only one, because a number of people who collected money for the allegedly for the Bangladesh liberation cause during the 9 months of the campaign in 1971 turned out to have stolen money, and the main sum of money collected vanished. That happened during the years 1972 to 1975, when all of this came out. The British Bangladesh Trust money was stolen, and strangely, a number of people who had actually collected money from ordinary Bangladeshis living in the United Kingdom emerged as owners of Bangladeshi restaurants in London. So we shall be covering this particular development or this update by Gabriel Pogrand in later editions.